Dance, dance, dance. You can see that look in my eye. You ain't gonna stop anytime soon. You ain't gonna stop anytime soon. Roll up while I cry.
Here we go again. I mean, this is here we go. And there's this is the truth show. This is the truth show. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome. Hello, my truth seekers. My name is Kisha. Welcome to the Truth Show. Yes. Just want to let you know we're going to be diving deep into some really good hot topics. The DOJ, have they arrested anyone? Will they arrest anyone? And what would happen to Pam Bondi? What would happen to her? Also, some brain food, breaking down some, myths and theories and old wives' hells and biblical misunderstandings and misquotes and things of that nature, and also a lot more. By the end of this live show, you will have a better understanding of everything, okay? And make sure you guys share. Hi, my loyal subscribers, Taylor and Alicia. How you doing? Make sure you guys share. Here are your warnings. Please note that this is all alleged. I've never met any of these people. I've deeply researched all of my information. This is a trigger warning. In this video, I may be talking about or showing sensitive material about some subjects or topics that may be disturbing or upsetting or may bring forth some troubling memories, as you read in the description or title. With that said, either in the video now or brace yourself. Aside from that, enjoy. Oh, I'm doing fantastic. How's my sound doing, you guys? I hope my sound doing okay. I hope it's aligned. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Okay. Okay, it seems that agreements between immigration and custom enforcement, ICE, and local law enforcement enabling offers to make federal immigration arrests have surged by 950%. Oh, yes. During the first year of President Trump's second term, increasing from 135. Let me just say this, you guys. Because, I want to just jump right in here because you guys are like, what in the hell are you talking about? Okay, this is what we're talking about here, okay? Let's back up a little bit because I was just going to go through these little hot topics and just get to like the brain food, my favorite part of the whole live show, and call it a damn day. Well, good to know. And I'm doing good, Andrew, my loyal subscriber. How you doing? Yes, I was just going to go straight up in it and just say, let me just go straight up in that shit. That's what I was going to do. But I'm going to back it up a little bit. I'm not going to go too fast for you guys, okay? All right, so let's talk about this thing here. Okay, we're going to talk about, I think I'm missing hold on for a second. Whatever. Anyway, was one before this, but who knows? I mean, I put this thing together literally at the last minute, okay? So it seems that agreements between immigration and customs enforcement, ICE, and local law enforcement enabling offers to make a federal immigration arrest. Now, this is about agreements that allow local police to work with ICE skyrocket. I mean, apparently there are some agreements that they are trying to implement that will allow the police to work with the ICE members. And they get paid a lot of money to work with the ICE members. That's literally what this is about. Matter of fact, let me put that little slideshow up here because this is really important. So let me just give you guys a little something to listen to. Sorry for the inconvenience, my love. It just be 30 seconds, okay? right, we're back. Thanks so much for being patient. Okay, now back to what I was saying. Okay, it seems that agreements between immigration and custom enforcement's ICE and local law enforcement enabling offers to make federal immigration arrests have surged by 950% during the first year of President Trump's second term, as we know, increasing from 135 agencies at the end of his first term to 1,168. Yes, as of January 2025. This revival of the controversy task force model, which allows local police to assist in ICE while maintaining their regular duties, has raised concerns in some areas regarding the potential for racial profiling and the impact on community trust. While some local leaders, like those in Montgomery County, Maryland, resist participation, others, like Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry, are pushing for cooperation with federal immigration operation, which means, let me finish. This is where it gets really murky, okay? Law enforcement agencies participate in this program to gain significant funding, with estimated suggest potential earnings between 1.4 billion and 2 billion this year, okay? Due to Trump's economic support measures, however, listen, this is where it gets crazy. That means Trump's immigration policy is waning, particularly following incidents, involving federal agents, highlighting growing concerns about the implications of local police involvement and immigration enforcement and community well-being and trust, which means he's kind of bribing the police department to assist in ICE immigration tactics. So he said, I give you guys more funding, I'll send more money away if you assist my ICE agents in this immigration tactics. I'm not even going to tell you the disgusting things that's going on in the detention camps if some of them make it. Seriously. He's trying to take us way back to civil rights times. I don't know what the hell's wrong with. I feel like I'm staying in a nightmare, but that's literally what he's doing. He's bribing the police department to help ICE agents. So none of the ICE agents would be arrested, even though most of these ICE agents are not really ICE agents and they're pretending to be ICE agents. They know about a bunch of pedophiles and killers because they don't do criminal background checks. Okay? No criminal background checks. So you can be a pedophile, a rapist, a serial killer, all kinds of shit, and you become an ICE agent. And he wants the police department to back them up. So just in case they kill anyone or they do anything illegal, he'll know he has a police department on his staff, on his payroll. That's seriously fucking illegal. This whole thing is illegal, by the way. But you know what? Who's going to stop him? Who's going to stop him? Are you going to stop him? Nope, no one's stopping him. Okay, and then the slideshow that I came with, okay? Trump slams energy deal between California and Britain. This is what the Politico reports. So that means California just made a global power move and the political world is shaking about it. While folks are busy trading insults and entire international energy shift is happening right under our noses and their noses, California linked up with the UK on clean energy. Wow, here's where it gets tricky. And Trump fired back off like somebody stepped on his fucking blueprint. But this isn't about personalities. This is a tug of war over who gets to shape America's future. Because no one supposed to do any deals without Trump because he thinks he's the God Almighty, the Lord of our Lords. And his job is to unravel things, to make things chaotic. His job is to fuck up things, to take it back to civil rights time. He wants us to die of pollution. He don't have to worry about pollution. He's rich. And this is where it gets really tricky. Okay, and this tug of war that shapes America's future, and the louder the noise gets, the clearer the real story becomes. You see, the deal focused on things like offshore wind power, clean energy technology, and helping British companies work with California on renewable energy projects. It's basically California saying we're moving forward with clean energy, and we're doing it with the global partners like the UK. Okay. However, Donald the Cheeto jackass Trump immediately attacked the deal. He said the UK shouldn't be working with California, called the agreement garbage, and said California is a disaster that's losing people and businesses. He also, even though he's partaking in this with this high tariffs and immigration and all the other bullshit he's doing, he's fucking up the businesses, but he's never going to own up to his faults. Okay. So he also mocked Governor Gavin Newsom, personally, using insults and saying that UK has enough problems without teaming up with him. So behind the scenes, this fight is really between two completely different energy visions. See, Trump wants a fossil fuel heavy national energy plan and has already declared a national emergency, the energy emergency. Okay. California, meanwhile, is pushing hard for clean energy, even partnering with foreign governments to do it. Like, I want to push for clean energy. Shit, this is California. I have billionaires and stars stay in my freaking state. We got to keep it clean. This is like, what, Los Angeles, the angel state? Okay. And then when we have Trump, like, no. I want fossil fuels. I want bad energy. Okay. I want people to die, especially in certain fucking neighborhoods. So look, this political that also reports that Trump administration has been trying to control or block several of California energy decisions. Remember I told you he's been trying to control California for the longest. But the one thing about California, there's too many billionaires stay there, the stars stay there, and there's too much power there. So the backlash and the tug of war, so to speak, or the ramification or the grounding that these people are going to do is going to be great here in California. Okay. So California, okay, has been blocking several of whatever, but he's trying to block several California energy decisions as well, including the offshore wind, the hydrogen projects, and even he want to be control of everything. He don't want governors in there. He want to get rid of the governors. He want to get rid of the mayors, whoever. He want to have control of every fucking thing. He think he is a fucking god. Okay. Okay, so that means, like I said, offshore wind, hydrogen projects, and even dam removals, because they clash with this national agenda of fucking up shit. So this isn't just Trump versus Newsom. It's a power struggle between federal energy policy and state level climate leadership, with the UK that's caught in the damn middle. Like, I'm just trying to partner up with people who's having the same outlook and clean energy as me. I am just looking out for my people, so I got to worry about my people dying of carbon monoxide poisoning or whatever disease you can get from toxic air. That's what I'm worried about. Just because your little fat, stanky ass is walking around and driving around in freaking energy efficient cars, you don't have to worry about this shit yet. Doesn't mean I want my citizens to worry about this. This is how a leader thinks. Trump is not a leader. He's a bully. Okay. To sum it up, California signed a clean energy partnership with the United Kingdom to work on offshore wind and renewable technology. Trump immediately blasted the fucking deal. Again, calling it garbage and saying the UK shouldn't work with California, which means don't work without my approval. Political reports that this is the part of a bigger fight. Trump is pushing a fossil fuel heavy national energy agenda, which is bad for the environment. Okay. While California is building global alliances around clean energy. Trump's team has already tried to block several California energy decisions. So this deal with Britain isn't just policy disagreement. It's a direct disagreement challenge of Trump's energy strategy, which is why he reacted so strongly, because they did it without his approval. And it goes against his sick ass fucking agenda to, make the air toxic and people can die and, die on the streets or whatever. He don't care. I mean, you don't have to deal with that stuff. He's in Richland. They don't have that shit over there. Hell, they don't even have the same pipeline or the sewage systems over in the Richland. They have a whole entirely different sewage system, that flows in the hood. So below a certain area in California, you get an entirely different sewage system. Can I speak? Sewage system. Try to say that fast 3 times, okay? Entirely different sewage system in California from rich to regular citizens, and that's a fact. Let's continue on the air subject again, because Trump is on a rampage. He's been having a ball with the air these days. He's really, 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 really losing his fucking mind. Okay, so now we're on that subject again. Okay, it seems that Trump eliminated a federal program that funded environmental endangerment policies, basically money used to protect communities from pollution, toxic exposure, and environmental hazards. He said the program was unnecessary and the states didn't need federal help to handle these issues, which means Biden and Obama initially got started by Bush, but Obama picked it up and finished it, and Biden continually implemented. That's why he didn't like it, because Biden and Obama did it. And you know how you feel about those two. Screwed that it was helping our environment because their names on it, he automatically just, let it go. Okay, he don't care if it works or not. You don't give a damn. The man can barely read. Why you think he barely sent in emails? You don't know how to read. He barely type. You think he's typing those fucking tweets? No, he is not. He's not. Okay, he probably voice texting it or voice typing it and have some AI, edit it. That's what the fuck his fat ass is doing. Okay, so here's the funding historically support. Here's what it fundally can support a thing. See, this funding, this endangerment funding, this is what it supports. It monitors toxic chemicals. It protected, or it is protecting endangered communities near industrial sites like, plants and, factories and things of that nature. Okay. It also has environmental justice programs, cleanup efforts, it research on health risks. So any health risks that come uprise, it investigates it. It researches it and finds some solution to prevent it from happening or happening in general. So by cutting it, the federal government is stepping back from those responsibilities because he's trying to cut corners to line his pockets and to put money into that stupid ballroom he's trying to freaking build. Why he say he cut it though? Trump public reasoning why he cut this thing. He said the program was wasteful. States should handle their own environmental issue. That's what California was doing, but then he had something to say about that. So he's a hypocrite to his own freaking complaining. Okay. The federal government shouldn't be funding unnecessary environmental protections. This fit with his broader energy and environmental agenda, which favors deregulation. Yeah, deregulation, yes, fossil fuel expansion, and reducing federal environmental oversight, which means, and let me just break it down, because, this is probably going over your head. Make sure you hit the like button. Communities that rely on federal help to monitor pollution will have less supports, like inner city people. States with fewer resources will struggle the most, which means our water and air will be toxic. The clouds it'll be more cloudy than it'll be sunny. Okay. Environmental justice programs lose fundings. So environmental programs will go bankrupt, and then that goes our whole water pollution, it goes our air, and people pretty much will be dropping dead. Okay. So yeah, absolutely. Companies face fewer federal checks on pollution. So if there's no money, how are they going to do anything? They can't do it for free. They have families too. They have bills. Okay. The burden shifts from the federal government to states and local communities. This is especially significant for it. And here's where it's going to hit the most, the areas he don't care about because he's never been of limited means a day in his life. So he don't know how they live, but he will. Low-income neighborhoods, communities of color, areas near factories, refineries, or chemical plants, because those are the places endangerment funding was designed to protect. And this is where he's trying to end. And this is where he's sending the ICE immigrants to be attacked at. And now he's bribing the cops to join into the tactic. So anything illegal they do, they are paid to not say shit to cover that shit up. You guys should be taking this serious. Yeah. So to sum it up, Trump just cut federal endangerment funding. That's the money used to protect communities from pollution and toxic exposure. He says we don't need it and that states should handle it themselves. And California was doing that, but he has something to say about that. But here's what it really means. The federal government is stepping back from environmental protection, and the communities that need the support the most are the ones who would feel it first. Like me, anyone who stays in the inner city. Okay, this isn't just a budget cut. It's a shift in responsibility, and it leaves vulnerable neighborhoods with fewer safeguards. So not only are we going to die from toxic, waste and fumes in air, we're also going to die from immigrants and ICE, who's going to probably have since the cops are being bribed to help them now, they're going to have the right mobility to come in your house and snatch you out and kill you. So if you can be right back in civil rights times with men in white sheets that traded their sheets for cops and ICE members now, ICE agents. So the KKK people are now ICE agents and cops, and they're going to be free and limb to do whatever the fuck they want. So if they want to come to your house and burst in your house without a warrant, snatch your kids from your school, and take a baby and damn near rape this baby to freaking hospitalization, they can do that. and anything else sinful of their utmost fucking desire, our president is going to freaking back them up 100%. These are the times that civil rights have reported for years, but they didn't have the social media that we have right now to report that was happening. Here's where he's trying to take us back from. You guys should be taking this fucking serious and stop ignoring me, because I said this is going to happen during the election and you guys ignore me. Y'all want to blacklist my channel, make sure no one see my fucking videos. But y'all need to start listening to me. But let's go deeper. When a leader says we don't need endangerment funding, they're not talking about money. They're talking about philosophy. They're saying the government shouldn't protect you. Corporations should regulate themselves. Environmental harm is exaggerated. It's ridiculous. It's a conspiracy theory. Fake news. Pollution is the cost of doing business, not air. Vulnerable communities are not my priority. I don't give a fuck about these peasants. They are not my problem. I never have to deal with them. Why would I care about these people? Okay. And this is a belief system, not a policy tweak. And belief systems shape everything that comes after. Environmental harm is never evenly distributed. When you cut protections, the pain doesn't fall on wealthy suburbs like he being, gated communities, or corporate districts. It falls on Black neighborhoods, brown neighborhoods, low-income communities, rural towns with no political power, places already dealing with asthma, cancer, toxic soil, bad water, lead pipes, all kinds of shit, low funding in public schools. And then you got the ICE agents running around here snatching our kids and doing God only knows what to them, and got the cops backing them up. Now, don't we have enough fucking problems in our inner cities? Now it's going to get worse. Now we have to die from the air now, because he's trying to kill us all. I don't know how the hell he's supposed to get paid from taxes when the low-income people are the one paying his taxes, but he's trying to kill us. Make it make sense. What the fuck is he trying to do? So environmental policy is a racial policy. It's not a class policy. It's a health policy. Cutting endangerment funding is cutting protection from the people who need it most. This is a part of a larger pattern shifting responsibility downward. The federal government said states can handle it, even though there was in California, but he didn't like that. States say cities can handle it. Cities say communities can handle it. And communities say we don't have the money. Okay? So this is how responsibility get passed down into the lands on the people with the least power and the least resources, which is the inner city people with limited means, the middle class people, and the third class people. So deregulation always benefits the same group corporation. When you remove environmental protections, companies save money, companies face fewer penalties, companies can pollute more freely, companies can cut corners, companies can expand without oversight, which means you're trying to help his billionaire friends. Meanwhile, people get sicker, water gets dirtier, air gets more toxic, cleanup becomes impossible, communities lose generational health. He already cut out the Affordable Care Act, so he's literally trying to kill us in a very political way. He's literally committing mass genocide without actually doing what God did, just blatantly kill people with natural disasters or whatever. He's doing it through sneaky political ways, legal ways, so to speak. So this is a trade-off. We're going to have more deaths. This time next year, if this continue, our population would decline probably about, 200,000 citizens or more. Okay? Or more, which is the dream of freaking Gates. He's been trying to depopulate for how long now? It's finally going to come into full emission. So let me just say this right quick. The part that hurts is that when the government removes safeguard, it's not neutral. It's a value statement saying your asthma is acceptable, your cancer risk is acceptable, your contaminated water is acceptable, your children's health is acceptable. Like, who fucking cares? I don't give a fuck about your kids. Your life is not worth the cost of protecting in my ballroom. And here's a spiritual layer for all of you. Environmental harm is not physical, it's generation. When you poison a community, you poison their future, you poison their lineage, you poison their land, you poison their ability to thrive. Environmental injustice is a form of slow violence. It doesn't explode, it erodes. When leaders cut protections, they're choosing erosion over protection. To sum it up, cutting endangerment funding isn't just a policy decision, it's the declaration of who deserves protection and who doesn't. And when the government steps back, the people who suffer are always the same communities, the ones already carrying the weight of environmental harm and the burden of all the bad outcome of what they already been doing. They're the ones who get in traffic. They're the ones who's working their ass off a little bit of nothing. Okay, they're the ones who are dealing with no health care and being treated like shit. They are the ones who's going to suffer the most. This isn't about money. This is about value. This is about who gets to breathe clean air and who doesn't. Now let's talk about Epstein and Bondi. Now, what Pam Bondi can do, because I think a lot of people are confused of what her power is. Some people are thinking that Pam Bondi has a limited power. Let's talk about her job description. Let's talk about the beach blonde bimbo and her fucking job description. Let's talk about that a little bit, because I think that's a topic that needs to be discussed. Okay. Her jurisdiction. What power she actually has? That's the question we should know. What power does Pam Bondi has? Okay, we know Pam Bondi is the U.S. Attorney General, which means she oversees the Department of Justice, aka the DOJ. But she does not personally control every document, nor can she unilaterally release or unseal federal case files. She doesn't have that power. Does she know that? Probably not. She has a serious God complex and serious Stockholm syndrome. I think she's a freaking psychiatrist. Her role is to carry out the Epstein Transparency Act, which requires the DOJ to release certain Epstein-related documents. That's her job. Oh, yeah. I want you guys to take a listen to this, and then I'm going to go further into the description of the Bondi. Okay? Give me a moment. All right, just a moment, my loves. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is the video I tried to play. I'm hoping it plays this time.
Pam Bondi all but admitted today that the United States government and the DOJ is protecting the pedophile ring and protecting abusers in the Epstein files.
This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one who asked.
And living in this clusterfuck of a country that we live in, where everything is ass backwards and seems upside down, you have to wonder how other countries are dealing with their high-profile leaders, politicians, and people that have been found in the Epstein files. In the United Kingdom, long before this recent batch of files was released, it was made known that Prince Andrew, well, formerly Prince Andrew, was close friends with Jeffrey Epstein and has been accused of sexually assaulting numerous women. He lost his princely titles, he lost his honors, and he lost his...
Andrew Mountbatten Windsor moved out of his Royal Lodge Monday, stripped of his home and royal titles for his association with Jeffrey Epstein and accusations of sexual...
In addition to that, just this week, Lord Peter Mandelson, the UK ambassador to the United States, resigned due to lying about his connections with Jeffrey Epstein. The UK Prime Minister is most likely to resign for appointing him. He, the UK Prime Minister, apologized to Jeffrey Epstein's victims, and several top aides have resigned due to advocating for the role in his appointment. This is the United States.
I'm going to rule out a pardon for her in her testimony deposition yesterday. I've discussed with the president recently because, frankly, it's not a priority. He's focused on many of the issues that the American people are dealing with. We're moving on from that.
In Slovakia, a national security advisor to the prime minister has resigned due to his ongoing correspondence with Jeffrey Epstein about young girls.
But as you know, it is not a crime to party with Mr. Epstein. And so as horrible as it's not a crime to email with Mr. Epstein, but it's also the kind of thing that the American people need to understand, that It isn't a crime to party with Mr. Epstein.
Mona Jewell has resigned, who served as Norway's ambassador to the UN, because it was discovered that Jeffrey Epstein left both of her kids $10 million in his will.
Look, the whole thing is a hoax. It's put out by the Democrats because we've had the most successful 6 months in the history of our country.
Sweden, Joanna Rubinstein, who was a former chair at the United Nations, has resigned on February 2nd due to her family visiting Jeffrey Epstein's island 4 years after he was found guilty and convicted. Once again, this is America.
No one in Congress is blocking Epstein documents. No one in Congress is doing that. What we're doing here, Republicans are preventing Democrats from making a mockery of the Rules Committee process.
So you have a country where our president is confirmed to have been besties with Epstein, has been confirmed to have allegations of sexual assault against him, has been confirmed that his name has been redacted over 1 million times in the Epstein files. The Epstein files that have some of the most grotesque, gruesome, and evil acts of sexual assault and pedophilia in them, yet no one in this country has been held accountable. No one has resigned. No one is arrested. No one is convicted. Our government is saying it's a hoax, and our government is trying to convince the American people that the Epstein files don't exist, that the list doesn't exist, that no crimes have been committed. This is why it is very dangerous when the rule of law and due process go out the window, when we are entering into a fashion totalitarian state where we can just lie and do whatever we want. Pam Bondi just straight up lied today. And it is not your fault if you feel crazy in this country because the things that are supposed to be happening are not happening. We are reading these files and everyone should be fucking thrown under the jail, but they're not. But they're not. Pam Bondi all but admitted today that the United States government and the DOJ is protecting the pedophile ring and protecting abusers in the Epstein files.
This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to
Yeah, there it is in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys know where we at currently in our political climate. Bondi sent a letter. So people need to know this. What she claims she has done. This is where we're at right now. Bondi sent the letter to Congress saying the DOJ has released all the Epstein files required under the Transparency Act, including records, documents, communication, investigative materials. She also included at least, what she said, a list of 300 plus politically exposed names. That's what she said she did. Okay? Yes, she said mentioned somewhere in the files. She insists nothing was withheld for reasons like embarrassment or political sensitivity. But we know that's not true. Now, what she has actually done based on the oversight hearings? Well, during the congressional hearing, Bondi defended the Trump administration handling of the files, attacked lawmakers questioning her, refused to apologize to Epstein survivors who said the DOJ mishandled the release, dodged questions about missing or improperly redacted documents when there's literally improper redacted documents all over the Epstein files, and I personally seen them. She redacting people don't need to redact it. She protecting the pedophiles and the billionaires because she's a fucking monster and an embarrassment and disgrace to our women everywhere. And I hope she doesn't have any kids because she's literally telling her daughter, it's okay, baby, if you get raped, molested, or just, I don't know, trafficked. Who gives a damn? Who the fuck cares? As long as the man has enough money and give you a power position, just sweep that shit under the rug, baby. It'll be okay. dye your hair blonde and just pretend everything else okay. They are in the right. You are in the wrong for questioning what they did to you. This is what she's saying to little girls and daughters everywhere. That's what the fuck she is saying. And what we know about God, he's definitely on Trump's side. I mean, God likes submissiveness and violence. I mean, he was a violent ass person. So he's definitely on Trump's side. Okay. We shouldn't be praying to him at all. Okay. So members of Congress and the survivors criticized the DOJ for this sloppy redaction, withholding internal memos, removing documents before lawmakers confused. So she wasn't moving documents altogether. She just removed them. She said it was another 3 million supposed to be released, but she said she was not releasing shit. Paraphrasing, that's pretty much what she said. She said, I'm not releasing shit. I'm done. This investigation is over. I'm done. They are getting so cocky and so freaking arrogant. You wonder if they're up to something. They are trying to make it hard for people to vote. Well, I mean, by law and the pretty much the institution, they have to make it easy for people to retrieve their birth certificates and things of that nature so they can have it when it's time for voting. That's by law. They have to make it easier. You can't make it hard. He's trying to make it hard for people to vote in general. So please vote in the primaries. I'll put it in the community post. Please vote for the primaries. The primaries are set to figure out who's going to be the primary voter when the midterms come. So we got to figure out who Democrats or whatever is going to run against the Republicans. Who are we setting to do that? That's what the primary is, which comes up within the next 3 months. And then the midterms comes up in November. So please note that I'll try to leave the link so you can figure out what state and date that you're supposed to vote for the primaries. I'll leave that in my community post. Okay. Now, what she cannot do, despite what social media claims. Well, Bondi cannot release 3 million more files. She says that unsealed documents a federal judge has sealed, so she can't do anything to federal judgment. So the federal judgment is really the person primarily, covering these files. Okay. They sealed the files. So she don't have the power to release the files, but she can go to the federal judge and say, we need to do A, B, and C, but that's the point. She's not doing it. She's the point of contact with the federal judge, but she's not doing, I don't know what she's doing, to be honest. She don't have the ability to override DOJ redaction decisions on her own. She don't have the ability to do that. She cannot release internal deliberations that the DOJ are claims to be protected. She don't have the authority to do that. Does she know that? Probably not. Bondi cannot publish unredacted emails or evidence without legal clearance. She needs legal clearance from the federal judge. They are the ones who's ordering this. She's just like the voice for the federal judge. That's what she is. She's like a paralegal for lawyers, but she's like the paralegal for the federal judge. That makes sense. That's what she is. For the federal judge, that's what she is. Okay. For America. Okay. She cannot publish unredacted emails or evidence without legal clearance. Much of the Epstein material is controlled by, and pay attention because this is important. I don't even think other journalists know this. The Epstein material is primarily controlled by federal judges and the Southern District of New York long-standing court orders. Remember, the federal government used to be stationed in New York before they moved it to Washington. Okay. That used to be the hub of the federal government, but they moved it to Washington. Okay. It used to be the hub of everything at some point in New York. Okay. So do know she don't have the authority to release the file, but she can go to the federal judge, and say we need to release these files. We need to have these files unredacted legally. We need to do A, B, and C. But she don't have the federal power to do it or order it herself. She has to get approved for the federal judges. It's the federal judges who are doing this. We don't know what judges are doing this or who judges are doing it. Okay. We just know they the fuck are doing it. And then making her take the blame for it. And she's stupid because she thinks she probably do have power, but she don't. But she's not making them do it either. She's not voicing that she's making them doing it. She's not saying, I'm trying to have them do this. I didn't know that the files were redacted. She's literally acting as a pedophile enabler. She's acting like the Ghislaine to all the pedophiles in America. That's what she's doing. She don't make it easier. she's actually going to lose her job and be publicly shamed. They're trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, but the dumb blonde is not listening. She's acting like a dumb blonde, like the orange Cheeto Donald Trump that she's starting to look like a female version of. Okay, so please notate, there is no federal evidence that she ever promised to release millions more documents. That's what they're saying. Now, why? Here's what pay attention now. This is important. Okay, what she isn't going to do based on her statements, behavior. Bondi has made it perfectly clear in her letter, her testimony, her refusal to apologize. She's never going to submit a letter to anyone to do anything. She's not going to submit a letter to the federal judges to do nothing. Her testimony basically blames that she's not doing a goddamn thing. Her refusal to apologize to the victims for not taking her statements or saying that we care about you, because she don't. Her defense of redaction, she's not going to defend and say, okay, why'd you guys redacting the wrong thing, because she don't care. So that is what she's literally saying that she's not going to do. Okay. And she's not planning to release anything else beyond, what the Transparency Act legally forces her to release. She's not going to force the federal judge, or not force, but suggest the federal judge to do it. She's not doing anything. She don't care. She don't care about the victims. She don't give a fuck about pedophiles either. She don't care. That's the message she's receiving. I don't know if that's how she truly feels, but that's the message she's telling us. Because they're up to something. They're acting like their jobs are guaranteed. It's not guaranteed, because the transition is going to happen whether they want it or not. So, but this is what she did do. She also defended the DOJ's decision to withhold certain materials under the deliberative process privilege, even though lawmakers argue the act requires those internal memos to be released. To sum it up, Pam Bondi'S keeps saying the DOJ has released all the Epstein files required by law, but Congress and survivors said that's not true. She can only release what the Epstein file Transparency Act forced her to release, which means she's basically saying, I don't have the ability to tell them to release the whole thing because I don't have the power to tell them to do it. I can suggest it, but it's not up to me. Because she probably don't even know she don't have that power herself. And quite frankly, she don't care. She just want to be done with this entire fucking subject and people move on and let Trump continue fucking up America. So, listen, she cannot unseal federal court documents or drop millions of extra files for social media claims. What she has done is defend the DOJ's redactions. That's what she has done. She refused to apologize to the survivors and avoid answer why certain documents were withheld or removed, because she don't know. Because she really don't know. She's not going to say that, because I guess that will make her seem like a team player. So she just don't say, look, I don't know why they're not doing it. Because she's probably afraid of being fired or killed. Who the fuck knows? Okay, so the idea that she's sitting on 3 million more files she promised to release is not supported by any verified source and legally, because she don't have that power. Okay? Okay? She couldn't release them even she wanted to, because she don't have the power to do it. So she's acting like a very subordinate puppet to the federal judges in court, who are really the ones withholding it, without verbally saying that I am asking them to do this, but I can't make them do it, because that would mean she's not being good at her job. Even though her job is to do what's right, but she's a wimp. She don't have a backbone. And she's completely naive. So that's summing it up. Let's move on to the next slide. And no other live show is going to get in details with this shit. Only here. Share, share, share. I don't give a damn how rich and famous they are. They would never get in detail about what I'm talking about right now. Now, in further news, Epstein Ranch in New Mexico, bought by family of Trump Republican candidate. All right, let's go deep here, because headlines like this get people spiraling. But the truth is a lot simpler than the internet wants it to be. Epstein New Mexico ranch didn't magically land in hands of some secret insider. The buyer is public, the process is public, and the story is nowhere near as dramatic as the headline makes it sound. Okay? Oh, yes. However, it seems that Texas political candidate named Don Huffins, who publicly calls himself a MAGA Trump Republican, like he's a definite MAGA supporter, he's racist as fuck, was revealed to be the new owner of Jeffrey Epstein former Zorro Ranch in New Mexico. So he want to be just like Epstein, want to eat children and have all the underage orgies his heart content. Okay. I'm not saying, that's not verified source, but that's literally what, he is. But, you can come to your own conclusions. Okay. So this came out after reporters traced the purchase through public records. Now, the key fact is the Epstein Ranch, okay, the Zorro Ranch was sold in 2023. Okay. Yeah, it was put up for sale after Epstein died and is set on the market for years. It was bought through an LLC called San Rafael Ranch, LLC. That's normal. Wealthy buyers often use LLCs for privacy. Okay. Third, reporters traced the LLC back to the family of the Don Huffins. So they did an investigation like Don Huffins is the one doing this. So Huffins is a Texas political figure who calls himself a MAGA Trump Republican. Like he's true Republican. He drinks Trump's blood. He's a true racist. He's running for Texas comptroller. So he's trying to run for Texas comptroller. So he's trying to get into the political government. We don't want him in the political government. That'll be saying it's back 67 fucking years, and we don't need him nowhere near our government at all. Okay? So the sale was legal and public. His family bought the rent at a public auction, not in secret deals. So it wasn't in secret. I mean, you could just look this up. Okay. There is zero evidence of any connections between Huffins and Epstein. It is, but whatever. This is what the media is saying. Now, reports does not claim he knew Epstein. He visited the ranch. He was involved in Epstein crimes. He had any prior connection. It simply confirms who bought the property after Epstein's death, which is, in fact, it did. The only reason, I should have said, this made headlines is the political label, Trump Republican Epstein Ranch, which equals clicks. But the facts are pretty much straightforward. So to sum it up, here's the truth. Behind the headline about Epstein's ranch, the property was sold in 2023 to an LLC, and reporters traced the LLC back to the family of Don Huffins, a Texas candidate who brands himself as MAGA Trump Republican, which means he worshipped the ground Trump's walk on. Okay. He cares if it's a rapist or a pedophile or racist, who the fuck cares, and who cares? That's how you feel. There's no evidence he had any connection to Epstein. Remember, a lot of clients of Epstein use alias names and use their real names. I just want to point that out. His family bought the ranch at a public auction after years after Epstein died, which is true. The headline sounds explosive, but the story is simple. And it's about who purchased notorious property. And that's basically what it is. A MAGA supporter just bought Epstein's ranch, and he is about as racist as fucking Trump. And don't tell him what else he's done. And I'm sure he does know Epstein, but a lot of Epstein clients use alias, and a lot of them was not talked about through his emails or had any paper trail. I just want to point that out. Now, let's talk about Erica Kirk. Okay, because the internet's running wild with Erica Kirk name tied to Epstein files, and most of what's circulating is pure distortion. But we're going to go ahead and break it down into clearer terms. Oh, yes, I'm going to break this down cleanly. Okay? Oh, yeah. So viral posts claim Erica Kirk was in the Epstein files as a recorder. The rumor exploded across TikTok and X in a late 2025, like last year, especially after the death of her husband, Charlie Kirk. Take a look at these clips and then we'll move forward.
I will never.
Sorry, that video was not playing, so I'm going to see if I can pull up this video for you guys. For some reason, when I downloaded, the sound didn't get downloaded. So I'm going to see if I can pull it up so you guys can see it, okay? So give me a moment. I'm going to see if I can pull it up for you guys, okay? because I really want you guys to see that video. It's something you guys should really see. Okay. All right, let's see where I did with the video. Where is that video? It should be somewhere at the top because I literally just saw it. Let's see. Missing persons. Hold on just a moment. Let me know if you guys can see it. What is that noise? I don't know where that noise is coming from. You know, let's just look up Erica Kirk because apparently it's probably somewhere in these lists that I just got to telling you guys, but I can't find it. There it is right here.
Like I have something very unique to offer this whole experience in general. Like I have something very unique to offer this whole experience in general. Like I said, I'm very coachable, I'm very trainable.
In general, that's a tough one. I'd really have to say that we live in a free country. So if you want to watch it, turn on your pay-per-view. If not, then why don't you turn on something else that's a little bit more G-rated?
Does Erica Kirk have ties to a non-for-profit called Romanian Angels, which is somehow linked to child trafficking?
The new Epstein documents didn't just name names, they exposed the main roles. And buried inside those files is confirmation that Erica Kirk wasn't just in Epstein's world. She was actively operating inside it as a recruiter. And once Romania shows up in the paper trail, that's when this stops being speculation and starts looking coordinated. Because this isn't about who Erica married later or how her life turned out after. This is about why her name keeps surfacing in places it shouldn't. The documents show repeated access and repeated involvement in the same recruitment system Epstein depended on. Epstein didn't run his operation alone, and he didn't rely on random people. He built a system that depended on women who could move comfortably through elite spaces and blend in without raising alarms. This account said, it's worth remembering, Epstein's network documentedly used women as spies. They were often attractive women from modeling or pageant circles. Kirk was in Trump's pageant, and then once placed in a relationship or role, they would move messages, gather intel, and normalize extremist ideas inside elite circles. And they were right. These were all pipelines. Because once you track Erica's movements in that system, especially with Romania in the mix, the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. Before Charlie Kirk, before Turning Point, before the whole clean-cut rebrand, Erica was already moving through beauty pageants, audition rooms, reality TV casting calls, and fashion-adjacent spaces. And no, she wasn't just trying to make it.
I think I always had that girly girl hidden within me. After being such a tomboy and experiencing that my whole life, it was like, oh, I can curl my hair, I can put on the mascara. I come from a great family that has very amazing genetics, so thanks, Mom and Dad.
She was very clearly putting herself in rooms with visibility, power, and men whose status was on the way up. Now,
Like I have something very unique to offer.
There you go. There's an outlook of your girl, Erica Kirk. I thought that was a very profound and very good analysis of Erica Kirk. I don't know who she is. I didn't even know who the fuck she was until I started doing these Epstein things, and that Kirk dude came into the picture. Other than that, I didn't know who else she was. My birthday, it was okay. It was just another day. I'm gonna be real with you. It was just another day. That's all it was. Okay, here are more videos right here.
About how inappropriate
Let
it
me
is.
just
Hold
on. Turn this up here.
I will never shut up about.
Hold on 1 minute.
I will never shut up about how inappropriate it is of the text exchange and comments that Erica Francois left on this 15-year-old girl's Twitter and Instagram and text messaging when Erica was 25. So Last video, some people were complaining I was in the way too much, so going to try to completely get out of the way. We also have this one. She shared that Erica sent her this, posted on her Twitter that Erica sent her this.
Just in case you guys didn't pick that up, Erica Kirk was doing exchanges with a 15-year-old girl. Okay. It's been leaked that she may be the recruiter or may have been a recruiter, okay, for Epstein or no telling who else. Just want to point that out.
And one, she shared that Erica sent her this. Posted on her Twitter that Erica sent her this.
And it looks like after that, her video stopped, playing the thing. So I'm just going to voice it off. This being the picture, it says this being, hold on just for a second. Since this being, let me go back. Hold on just a second. Girls in, hold on, let me go back. She said Erica sent her this. She posted her Twitter. Erica sent her this. We have a picture of these girls in 2014. This being the comment left on that picture. Another one, 2014, with this comment being left on the picture. Seeing a trend, any picture of herself, post of her comment gets comment. Let's talk about. She's always there for even for where they just met. She loves her too. She's so proud of her. And then, of course, to comment, this look which stunning, we have a picture where she says with a lizard. And then we're commenting, oh, hey there, Tan Beauty. Picture she posted of getting a white tattoo, which Erica Kirk also has one. This was the comment that she left found interesting, but because she said that she was very involved in political affairs in Washington, D.C. Mind you, this is in 2014. Same picture, the white tattoo. That's another comment she left. So what is this like to you? Because I definitely wouldn't be comfortable for a 15-year-old speaking to a 25-year-old. One woman, like, I find highly inappropriate, which being pushed upon Erica with that company she is now running. So she's basically saying Erica Kirk is currently talking to underage girls and commenting under their videos and things of that nature. That's basically what she just said.
Investigators are combing through the Epstein files, and the truth is finally exploding into the open. Erica Francis Kirk, the woman who inherited Turning Point USA, is right in the middle of it all. Fresh revelations show that she and her mother were in direct communication with Jeffrey Epstein himself, coordinating and planning key pieces of the global child trafficking network. And it runs much deeper still. Rothschild bloodlines in her ancestry, tracing back to the heart of the elites, connections to Israel, links to the crown, all of it converging on the same massive endgame. Raw unchecked power and oceans of the dirtiest money in the world. This is the ultimate deception sold to the American people. A perfect facade hiding the darkest web imaginable. You deserve the full unfiltered truth. Bombshell Epstein emails have blown the investigation wide open.
I've discovered Erica Francis Kirk is linked to Epstein, the trafficking, okay, the models and beauty queens, the blackmail, the operations, London, Romania, Cambridge University in London, the grooming, the handlers, the bribes, the Rothschild, ancestry, and lineage. That country in the Middle East and the crown, all leading to the power and the money. This is the ultimate deception to the American people right here. Charlie may have been fooled and tricked, but I believe in the end he found out
Hell yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Now, just so you guys can stay grounded, the fact checkers actually reviewed the actual Epstein, but we don't know who are behind the fact checkers. They can be the fact checkers who pretty much create a safe haven for the criminals. For so far, that's what I got from them. But that is just my interpretation. So fact checkers claim they reviewed the actual Epstein document. She's not listed as recruiter. It don't say recruiter. It doesn't say that. The files don't say that. So technically they are correct, but it don't say recruiters. Okay, and they said Snoop's Yahoo fact check unit and other outlets confirm. That's what they say these fact checkers are, originating from. She does not appear in files as recruiter. It don't say recruiter. There's some documentation linking her as Epstein trafficking network. No, it doesn't. It doesn't say that. Even the traffickers that are traffickers are not listed as traffickers. So that part is true. Is she listed in the Epstein files? Yes, she is. The timeline doesn't even make sense. That's what they're saying. She was a high school student, it says, when the first Epstein investigation began in 2025. That lady didn't say anything about 2025. 2005, I'm sorry. It said she was a high school student when the first Epstein investigation began in 2005. They're not talking about in 2005. So by this fact checker alone, their grounds for fact checking is starting to come apart. Now, the rumor grew because of unrelated conspiracy after Charlie Kirk's death. I know you heard Candace trying to find some correlation with Charlie Kirk racist ass death, and if his wife had anything to do with it, because I heard that he was going to divorce her and leave her as flat, even though I think she had her own money from Generation Wealth, but I haven't researched her that well because I don't really care about her. After Charlie Kirk was killed in 2005, conspiracy accounts started connecting Erica to Epstein, trafficking, Mossad, and even claimed she had her husband killed. All of these claims were apparently debunked and based on online conspiracies. How many times conspiracy theories going to turn out to be actual theories and actual facts? How many times? But some rumors came from satire and people didn't realize it. One viral claim about Erica Kirk being removed from the Charlie Kirk. Let me get a visual here. Hold on just a second. Anyway, whatever. All right, so let me go back. Okay, good. All right, sorry about that. I just needed a visual, so you guys going to be looking at some blank here, so sorry about that. Okay, so there's no verified connection between Erica Kirk, apparently. But let me just back up here. One viral claim about Erica being removed from Charlie Kirk's book, it came from some kind of satirical website. But once the clip was posted without context, people believe it was real. That's what they're claiming this whole rumor started. But they're saying there's no verified connection between Erica Kirk and Epstein, which there is. But no court records are saying, no legal documents, no investigator files, no credible reporting. Everything's circulating in social media, driven speculation, no evidence. So to sum it up, here's the truth about everything they're saying about Erica Kirk and the Epstein files. Viral posts claim she was listed as a recruiter, but very independent fact check says that's false. She doesn't appear in the files in that role, and in the timeline doesn't even match the claim. And they weren't talking about 2005. She was still in high school when the first Epstein investigation began, but that still does not mean she wasn't involved, because it's been on record that they recruited high school students to recruit other victims. Okay, by this verification alone makes it fall apart yet again. Most of the rumors grew after Charlie Kirk's death and were pushed by conspiracy accounts, with some of the claims even coming from satire that people mistook for real news. They claim there's no verified evidence connecting Erica Kirk to Epstein in any capacity. I can pull up that damn Epstein file thing, and I don't know if I you know what, we're not going through that right now. Pull it up yourselves. I have other things I need to do. Let's move on. Now I'm going to talk about random news here. And I'm going to go through it real quickly, okay? I'm going to go through it really fast because I'm going to get down to brain food and so you guys can be on with your day. Okay. In this section, I will go through random news very quickly. Like I said, if you haven't missed or been paying attention, because I'm assuming a lot of you have missed a lot of these headlines, I'm going to go through them real quick, okay? Now here is the post. They claim that Erica Kirk was definitely part of that. I should have showed this when I was talking about that. Sorry about that. Here is the post that was talking about Erica Kirk and how she was listed as Epstein files. They said it's not a valid source. They said it's not a valid source. That's what they're saying. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say here. Random news. Remember, pay attention because I'm going through it very quickly. Okay, it's been a 2-month ICE detained baby hospitalized. In Philadelphia, a 2-month-old baby died after being transported in the hospital early on Monday. The infant died after something happened at a house in Kensington early on Monday. There have been no reports of arrest, which means this baby was heavily abused, not fed, and don't tell them what else they did to this beautiful baby. Knowing them little pedos, I'm sure they had a ball. And considering Trump is trying to make it illegal and declare them all immunity for anything they've done, that should further confirm that Trump is a pedo and a rapist. I'm just going to point that out. Okay, Trump censors Stephen Colbert. Stephen Colbert recently revealed that CBS blocked Texas State Representative James Tallarico from appearing on The Late Show in order to avoid upsetting then President Donald Trump. Colbert explained that CBS executive made this decision out of concern that featuring Tallarico, a Democratic Senate candidate, might provoke anger from Trump or his administration. So Colbert expressed frustration of the network's choices, highlighting concerns about creative freedom and journalistic integrity during Trump's presidency. So this network was like, I don't want to piss off Trump, so we're not going to invite him on here. That's what the network literally just fucking did. So he's a Democrat. I want to piss off Trump. And I'm a MAGA, so, you know, I'm not going to invite him on here. Okay, motherfucker, let's go ahead and just trend this. You just sink your damn ratings. How about that shit? How about that? Everybody's going to be out of a job. Yeah. Okay, so New Mexico launches investigation into the Epstein Ranch. New Mexico lawmakers are initiating a thorough investigation into Jeffrey Epstein's Zero Ranch, as I stated, focus on his time there, visitors, and potential criminals' activities. The investigation seeks to uncover details such as guest lists and activity records, aiming to ascertain if any laws were violated. This renewed scrutiny is part of the wider efforts to examine Epstein's networks following his 2019 arrest and death. Lawmakers plan to issue subpoenas for records and testimonies from individuals associated with the ranch, emphasizing accountability and justice for victims linked to events at the site. Epstein died in 2019. I'm sure nothing is there. I'm sure Trump had his little cronies and all the rest of his little MAGA racist pedos and rapists go down there and destroy and take everything down there. So I don't know what the fuck they trying to find. They trying to bring some positive news saying they're doing something. You're not doing anything. That damn ranch been sitting there since 2019. Give me a fucking break. Arrest somebody. How about that? There's something moving toward justice for the victims. Okay, Hillary Clinton blasts Trump. Hillary Clinton criticized Donald Trump for delaying the release of the files related to Jeffrey Epstein. She don't have shit to hide. Accusing him of slowly walking documents that could provide crucial information about Epstein's associates and activities. Despite Trump asserting he was exonerated from any connection to Epstein, he wasn't. Clinton emphasized the ongoing demand for transparency and full disclosure regarding Epstein files, underlined the need for accountability from those involved. Remember, Bill Clinton was, yes, at events and did some socializing with Epstein, but they were business. Virginia Giuffre in the documentary and Netflix said, yes, Bill Clinton was there, but he was never doing anything inappropriate with any underage girls. And every victim vouched for that. He just so happened to be there. Same thing with Chris Tucker. They were there for business and charities. Yeah, I do know Epstein donated to charities and political, causes and stuff of that nature. I mean, just because he's a pedo and a fucking psychopath doesn't mean he didn't donate to shit. Okay? So please stop putting Bill Clinton in this. No one came forward and said Bill Clinton did anything. He just so happened to be in a bunch of goddamn pictures with fucking Epstein, unfortunately. And Hillary Clinton had nothing to do with this. She just happened to be married to that son of a bitch. I would have divorced Bill Clinton a long time ago. But whatever. She want to be loyal in her religious to death do you part to her husband. That's her goddamn problem. Do your thing, girl. Okay, so Hyatt Hotels chairman steps down. Hyatt Hotels chairman Thomas, I think his name's Pritzker, has resigned following revelations of his connection to Jeffrey Epstein, as disclosed in court documents detailing their interactions and financial dealings. Oh, yes, it was. Despite denying any wrongdoing, Pritzker believes his resignation serves the company's best interest. Of course it does, dear. We know you're just doing this to hide. This decision underscores the heightened scrutiny on the individuals linked to Epstein and amid ongoing investigation into his associates. Sure, you step down because your ass is guilty, but do what you want, dude. Okay, Epstein files reveals, then this is the cool girl, you guys. Listen, this is some good ass tea right here. Oh my gosh. I have to put this up here. Seriously, I have to put this up here. This is crazy. Come closer to your phone or the screen or wherever the hell you watching me at. I don't freaking know. But I'm going to put this up here because I'm just going to put this up here. This is so wicked. This is the beginning of conspiracy theories. Yes, it is. Y'all ready for it? Listen. Epstein files ties to Catholic conservatives. Listen to what I'm saying. Recently released Epstein files reveals links between Jeffrey Epstein and several Catholic conservatives, including those involved in campaigns against Pope Francis. The documents details Epstein connections with figures such as Steve Bannon and Cardinal Raymond Burke. Oh, yes. Highlighting meetings, correspondence, and possible financial support for anti-Francis initiative, which means they didn't like him. They wanted him gone. Trump and his people wanted Pope Francis gone. Yeah, I'm not even finished yet. These revelations raise questions about the extent of Epstein's influence with religious and political circles, as well as the broader implications for church politics and ongoing investigations into Epstein's network. It also makes you revisit the way Pope died. Did Trump carry out his vendetta with Epstein and all the rest of his cronies against Pope Francis when he finally became president? It won't be the first time someone conveniently died on his presidency, if you know what I mean. Because let's be realistic here, and I say again, because not soon after Trump became presidency, and not too soon after Pope Francis died, Trump released a picture of himself via AI generated as Pope replacement. Yeah, and it was always conspiracy theories how conveniently J.D. Vance sheep puppet ass went to meet Pope Francis and died shortly after their meeting. Is that convenient? Is that a coincidence? Or are we getting literal proof that Pope Francis may have been killed? I don't know. You guys sit on that shit. Take a look at this. This is the picture that Trump released right after Pope Francis died. Right after he died. And they have verbal proof. I saw the documents. They were in correspondence saying they didn't like Pope Francis. They wanted him gone. They wanted him gone for financial reasons and to cover up their underage trafficking, because you know the Vatican allegedly is behind it too. Oh yes. Listen to this.
New documents from the Epstein files show one of Donald Trump.
Hold up just a moment.
New documents from the Epstein files show one of Donald Trump's senior advisors trying to work with Epstein to take down the Pope. That sounds like a headline out of a crime movie, but no, this is our reality. So Steve Bannon, one of Donald Trump's longest advisors from outside of the White House, was emailing with Epstein in 2019 about taking down the Pope. Bannon had been highly critical of Pope Francis, who he saw as an opponent to his sovereigntist vision, a brand of nationalist populism which swept through Europe in 2018 and 2019. The released documents from the DOJ appear to show that Epstein had been helping Bannon build this movement. Bannon wrote to Epstein, quote, "We'll take down Pope Francis, the Clintons, Xi, Francis, EU, come on, brother." Epstein also sent Steve Bannon an article that said Epstein or the Pope, Catholics must choose, to which Bannon replied, easy choice. It's not clear how serious the proposal from Bannon to Epstein was, and in the back and forth, Epstein doesn't actually mention the offer. But again, this is who Donald Trump surrounds himself with, and this is who the MAGA movement embraces. Trying to take down the Pope with a criminal like Epstein? Are you kidding me?
Told you. Yep. Sure, ladies and gentlemen. And with that said, here is my favorite subject, yeah, which is brain food, yeah. Oh, and I can sing, by the way. I'm just being real goofy right now because I am coming down from politics, which is exhausting. Politics takes a lot out of me. You have no idea. I need a moment. Woo! Just give me a moment, you guys. I need a moment to breathe. Oh my goodness. Oh. Just a moment. Just give me a second here. Just a second. Yep, this is me right now. Okay. All right. Woo, let's do it. Okay. Okay. All right, let's talk. Because there's a reason certain people rise to a level where the rules don't seem to apply to them. Because you probably wonder why people in the Hollywood industry are untouchable. Why nothing happened to them? Well, we're going to talk about that today. If you want to come up and do your little input on it, by all means. Okay, a reason why no matter what whispers float around, no matter what patterns show up, no matter how many people speak up about certain people in the Hollywood industry, the culture protects them. Oh, yes, we're going pretty deep today, ladies and gentlemen. The halo effect. That constant halo that's over their head, no matter what shit come out to them, you get people taking up for them, arguing with you in the comments, saying that they just trying to take down another black man. They're trying to take down another leader. They're trying to take down because they're jealous. No matter how many allegations, no matter the company they keep, you are the hater. Okay, let's go with that. That's what they like to say. You are the hater. You know? So the halo effect, what does the halo effect? When talent becomes a fucking shield. So humans have a psychological habit. Listen to what I'm saying. If someone is talented, successful, or charismatic, we assume they're good. We protect morality onto ability. That's called the halo effect. Let me say that again, ladies and gentlemen. Humans have a psychological habit. If someone is talented, successful, or charismatic, we assume they're good. We protect, or we project, should I say, morality onto ability. That's called a halo effect, which means you put a halo over them despite that the fact they're just a human that so happen to have a career in front of the camera. It's why celebrities get forgiven fast. This is why we overlooked Michael Jackson and all his weird tendencies. Not saying he's a pedo or anything. I don't think he is, but he was weird as hell. He was weird from a beyond Hollywood standard. Okay? Well, we just let that shit ride, didn't we? Yeah. We should have questioned it. Seriously. I mean, let's be realistic here. Okay? Okay. It's why celebrities get forgiven faster. Powerful people get the benefit of the doubt. Despite how many people come forward and what happened to the people that comes forward. No matter who comes forward, we just say, okay, they're all lying. Okay, all these motherfuckers are lying. When too many coincidences are no longer coincidences anymore. I mean, fans defend their favorites like family. As if you know these fucking people. You had dinner with these people. You slept with these people. You are with these people every day. Like, you know these people. You don't know these fucking people. But you defending them like their blood. because their talent becomes a shield. The fame becomes an armor. Their bullshit is overlooked. The coincidences are called haters. The evidence is being, I don't know, they've been framed. When are we going to stop doing that? Now, the myth making, we don't just love people, we defy people. Let's talk about that, okay? Every culture creates chosen ones. Ancient kings, biblical figures, modern celebrities, tech billionaires, and music icons, political leaders. We don't just admire them, we mythologize them. Ancient kings becomes deities. We pray to them. Oh, I will. Thank you so much. Definite facts. Absolutely. Okay. But let's dig deep into that a little bit. So why do we admire them? Why? Not me, but I'm just saying, why people admire them? Why mythologize them? Why do we do that to ancient kings? We immortalize them when they was just kings. Biblical figures. This is a Yeshua. He was a man. He was a messenger. He wasn't a god or a deity. I mean, no. He's a man who so happened to reach his higher consciousness. He was a speaker, a truth speaker. It's like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Edgar Everett, all of them. They all knew their fate. Of course, everything that I told you on the origins and the reality of God's freaking history, we pretty much knew that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, although they were speaking about civil rights and freedom, they already had a target on their head anyway, unfortunately. But they were also God-fearing. You cannot talk about freedom of speech and freedom and say, in God's name. God is not about freedom of speech and freedom. You know what happened to Adam and Eve? He's not a God. He's a God of submissiveness. Like they call him a jealous God. You praise him and him only. There's no such thing as freedom of speech. There's no such thing as any of those things. He don't want you practicing witchcraft. He don't want you tapping in any of your abilities. You're not supposed to do anything but praise him and praise him only or die. So they can't be talking about freedom and all of this unity and say in God's name. They were deemed to fail anyway. But that's not what we're talking about right now. Okay? Myth making, we don't just love people, we defy. Every culture creates chosen ones. Every culture. Right now, we are in all the above. We are talking about the ancient kings, the biblical figures, the modern celebrities, the tech billionaires, and the music icons, and the political leaders that have been praised like their God identities. I mean, they just don't admire them. They mythologize these people. And once someone becomes a myth, the truth becomes inconvenient, which means they don't listen to the truth anymore. It's like, no, you are tainting the image of half of this person. It's not true. He is a God. He is the person I live up to be. Oh, yes, I'm still not done yet. So all the headlines and shit become ignored. The victims become silenced. Those who spoken becomes ruined. But yet, y'all believe the icon that you created. You don't even know him. You don't know him at all. You don't know him from a can of paint. So, the power protects itself and it punishes the sin. That's what I'm saying. This is the part people don't want to talk about. Powerful people don't stay powerful by accident. They stay powerful because why? They have networks. They have influence. They have money. They have gatekeepers, which means they have sidekicks who does their dirty work. They have loyalists. They have people who benefit from their success. So they have other people who don't want their identity and their connection and involvement in dirty deeds to be exposed. So they have people to make sure they stay clean. Okay? There's a layer of people who are also being deceiving and deceptive. So when someone speaks up about these people or someone speaks up against them, the system reacts, not because the person is innocent, because 98% of the time they're not, because the system is invested in their image. So if the system and the elite is invested in this person, they're going to protect this person by any means necessary. It can be 1,000 victims. We have a president right today in the White House where billionaires are dying to make sure he stays shielded. His cover-up goes all the way to fucking Russia. They are making sure that Trump does not get exposed and go down. Because there's people behind the image that want to make sure he stay clean. You understand that? They invested in this man. You understand that? Oh, let me go back. Let me use that again. I need that again. So the public loves a hero more than it loves the truth. Okay? So they want a hero. They want someone who is an idea of what they dare to become. Even though this person is dirty, slimy, and needs to seriously be in jail. People don't want their icons touched. They don't want their illusions cracked. They don't want their comfort disturbed. So instead of questioning power, they attack the vulnerable. It's easier to say they're just lying, they're just jealous, they're crazy, they're clout chasing, than to confront the possibility that the person they admire has a shadow and they're dirty and they really are evil. So what happens? Silence becomes a culture, not an accident. When people see others get punished for speaking up, they learn to not say anything. Like, this person spoke up. Look what happened to them. So silence becomes a survival instinct. Silence becomes a tradition. Like, I'm not going to say anything. Fuck that. I don't want to die. And I have bills, I have kids. Silence becomes culture, especially within the Black community. And the more silence there is, the more untouchable and powerful this motherfucker becomes. He becomes invincible. Because the more he's able to keep his victims silent and tirade them, the more powerful he becomes and more sick fuckers becomes behind him. Hence Epstein, leading all the way to fucking Donald Trump. Think about that for a second. Okay. So what happened if the truth only comes out when power collapses? Let's talk about that a little bit. Okay. People don't stop giving passes until the influence is gone. The money is gone. The gatekeepers are gone. Or the person is gone, like if they die and the threat is gone. That's when the truth becomes safe to say. But that's not accountability, that's avoidance. It's not accountability. Because the truth only came out when the person is gone. Virginia Giuffre took down Prince Andrew because she had resilience. She did not give up. She was brave enough to go against the fucking Prince of England. Took down a man's entire reputation. Cassie did the same thing. I did the same thing in my past. I can go on, but I think you all get the picture. It takes one person brave enough to not give up. Continue on with the fight. Don't become silenced by threats. If you have to get witness protection, get witness protection. Collect the threats. Give it to trustable feds, not the ones who's been paid by this icon, but the ones who also want to take down this icon. Gather witnesses to stand by you. Okay? You come out with that, watch the dominoes fall. So when we talk about certain people who become untouchable, we're not talking about one person, we're talking about a system, psychology, a culture, a myth. And until we understand the architecture behind the protection, hence the people who need for this person to stay clean, we'll keep repeating the same patterns. Oh yes, I'm still not done yet. There's more. Let's talk about the Statue of Liberty. Okay, and I'm going to be quick here. Historically, the sculptor Frederick Auguste Bartholdi modeled the statue after Libertas, which is a Roman goddess of liberty. Okay. Columbia, early American feminine symbol. Marianne, which is a French symbol of revolution. So we're talking about the Statue of Liberty right now. But here's the twist. Bartholdi was also heavily influenced by Egyptian goddesses, especially during his early, projection proposal. This is Bartholdi. Okay. Who was the Egyptian goddess associated with? This Egyptian goddess was associated with light, guidance, protection, the rising sun, the morning star, and the torch of knowledge. You know who that is? You know who all represents that? Sorry about that. Goddess Isis. It has been a historical argument and debate that Lucifer was not a man, but actually Goddess Isis. There has been some historical facts that Yeshua, Jesus, was also Goddess Isis, but they changed it to a woman, that those are all literally the same person. Oh, yeah. What am I saying? Isis, if you can look this up, you can credit check the fuck out of me. Okay? Isis, Venus, and Lucifer all share overlapping symbolism, even Yeshua too. But let's break this down clearly, okay? Isis is a goddess of magic, wisdom, rebirth, associated with the morning star, often depicted with a torch. Sounds familiar? Or radiant crown. Symbol of enlightenment and protection. Venus, the actual morning star, Latin name Lucifer, meaning the light bringer, symbol of illumination. Yes, that's what Venus is. Lucifer, original meaning means not a demon, a poetic name for Venus. Symbol of light, knowledge, and awakening. So when you say Lucifer equals Isis equals Venus equals a morning star, you're not wrong. You're tracing symbolic lineage, not theology, but you're tracing back to the same female identity, which is Goddess Isis, which is why they are trying to cover it up. So the Statue of Liberty, and I had to learn this, although I already had ideas of it, but I didn't want to vocalize because I'm always been the oddball in the group, which means the Statue of Liberty is an embodiment and a statue depicting Goddess Isis. Just to sum it up. That's what it is. In a nutshell. Take a listen. Look at these clips.
Lucifer. Latin word meaning light bringer, a metaphor for Venus, not a demon. Satan, a Hebrew job title meaning the accuser, basically the cosmic prosecutor, not a fallen angel. The devil, a later mashup created from folklore, politics, and fear-based storytelling. Now here's the twist. Revelation says 666 is the number of a man, and the most common form of carbon, the element that makes up the human body, is 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. So maybe 666 was never about a monster. Maybe it was about us, the physical human condition. And the age of Aquarius, that's the era of awakening, truth, and revelation. Not the end of the world, the end of the old world. Maybe the real villain was ignorance, and the revelation is the awakening. Tonight's brain food is going to flip everything you were taught about the devil. Because Lucifer and Satan, they're not the same being. Lucifer was a light bringer. Satan was a tester who worked for God. And the serpent in Eden never called Satan, never called Lucifer, just a symbol of wisdom that got demonized when patriarchy took over. So if the serpent brings knowledge and Satan follows orders and Lucifer means morning star, then who's the real villain in the story? Let's talk about it. Let's talk. We already know Lucifer in the original text meant light bringer, the morning star. And when you trace that symbolism back, it lines up with Venus. And Venus lines up with Isis, the Egyptian goddess of light, wisdom, and protection. Guess what? The Statue of Liberty, torch of enlightenment, crown of radiant rays, robed feminine figure, protector of travelers and the oppressed. That's Isis's entire archetype, meaning these features represent goddess Isis. I'm not done yet. There's more. The sculptor originally wanted to build a colossal Egyptian woman at the Suez Canal before he ever designed Lady Liberty. It's not a conspiracy. It's mythology, history, and feminine divinity repackaged across cultures. It's goddess Isis. Oh, sorry about that, you guys. Sorry about that. Sorry. I thought I go back. Okay. Thank you for telling me. Thank you. Okay, let me go back. We are going to talk about the Statue of Liberty and how does the Statue of Liberty shares ISIS visual language. We're going to compare the imagery. Let's compare it. Okay, so Isis is known to have the crown of rays, as you can see here. The torch of flame, as you see there. She's always the robed feminine figure. She's the symbol of enlightenment, protector, travelers, and the oppressed. The Statue of Liberty has the crown of rays, the torch of enlightenment, a robed feminine figure, a symbol of freedom, protector of immigrants. Right there, smack dead in the middle. I believe that's the river or lake or something. In the entrance going into New York. Right there. That's what the Statue of Liberty is. Right there in the entrance for New York. Right there in the middle of the ocean. Or lake or whatever it's at. I honestly forgot, seriously. But the point is to smack there right there. So anyone who's entering by boat or whatever,
It's a symbol of freedom. It's a symbol of going into New York. New York, that used to be the key demographic and place for our government before they moved it to Washington. It used to be in New York. Oh, yes. So the parallels are not accidental. They're archetype. So Bartholdi was drawing from the same symbolic well. Bartholdi wanted to have a symbol of goddess Isis. So he created this feminine figure in representation of goddess Isis / Lucifer. So Lucifer was originally a woman, not a man. But the Bible is known for switching female deities and goddesses to men. Are we surprised by that? No, the hell we're not. Now, let's dig a little deeper here. So we have the biblical DID, masculinized feminine figures. Now, this is historically documented, by the way. So these are the biblical figures that were turned into male figures. We have Sophia, or just literally obliterated and not talked about in the Bible. Sophia represented wisdom, but she became distracted. Do you even know who the fuck Sophia is? No, y'all don't. Okay. Azariah was erased. Like, who cares about Azariah? Who cares? Lilith. We don't know about Lilith because Adam and Eve. But she was demonized for having a voice, because God don't like people who have voice. God don't even like women. Then we got Ishtar and Astartes. Well, Ishtar / Astartes became false gods. Their reputation became obsolete because feminine divine roles were reassigned to male figures, or if they did have a reputation being good, they changed those people to male angels and figures. So to give a clear thing here, the light bringer became masculinized into Lucifer. It's no logical explanation. That's literally what happened. So Lucifer became a woman, even though it was originally goddess Isis. But who cares? Who cares? Okay? Women are supposed to be divine entities and powerful figures, even though in history they are, but whatever. So, they say it's not documented, but it is. They say it's not supported, but it is. But I digress. So, who is the Statue of Liberty? So, is the Statue of Liberty actually Isis? Let's get deeper into that. Okay. Well, not officially. They're not going to admit it. U.S. government calls her Libertas. So, absolutely carries the archetype of Isis because that's what she stands for. Okay. The torch, the rays, the robes, the morning star, the lineage to protect her role, the feminine embodiment of the light. Why do you think she has chains? People thought because Lucifer was binded in hell. That's not why. That's not why at all. Because she's binded and chained like any woman with the free voice or freedom to speak. They bind them and they chain them. Isn't that what they did to all free thinking women when they weren't killing them? They bind them, they chain them. That's what they did. Yeah. So the torch and the rays and the robe, the morning star, the lineage to protect the role, the feminine embodiment of alignment. And Bartholdi, original Egyptian concept, makes the connection even stronger. So it's not textbook, but it's historical. That's what it is. Lucifer was never binded. If we're talking about Lucifer is in the entity in the Bible, because I think I made clear clarifications in my live shows that Lucifer was the same level as alleged God, who was actually God on mine. Yeah, I think I pretty much made that assertion, that different analysis. Goddess Isis was bonded and chained. And due to the Christian era, her power was weakened because too many people was praising a false identity. She had no power. She's getting her power back though. Oh yeah. This is the historical image of goddess Isis. Well, actually, he said that was a historic image of some other goddess, but you get the drift. See the comparison here. They're pretty much the same, just different names. So you see, when you start comparing Lucifer, original meaning, the light bringer, the morning star, to the goddess Isis, and then you look at the Statue of Liberty, the symbolism lines up a little too cleanly to ignore. Oh yes, the torch, the rays, the robe, the feminine figure of Enlightenment. That's Isis' entire archetype. And I'm still not done yet. There's more. The sculptor originally wanted to build a colossal Egyptian woman of this Suez Canal. That's what this person's supposed to be. The Suez Canal was embodied after goddess Isis. So when we ask whether Lady Liberty carries the energy of Isis, we're not talking conspiracy. We're talking symbolism, history, and the way feminine divinity gets repackaged across cultures into male dominancy. We are talking about historical inventors, if you want to go in kind of current times, where inventions were put into the patent office and white people took over. Or they took over, tried to replicate it, but they couldn't keep it going. So the invention ended up going and being faded with time. You wonder why those really fancy refrigerators and stoves and all the other stuff that you see in old videos, 1920s and 1930 videos, are not there anymore because the people originally created them are dead. A lot of them got killed during civil rights times. The creator was not alive to continue on his manufacturing. They tried to duplicate it or replicate it, but they couldn't. So that's what happens. The Statue of Liberty is embodiment of goddess Isis. She stands for liberty. She stands for protector. That's what it is. Genesis is originally called the gene of Isis. If you want to know who would take down Donald Trump, you might want to look to goddess Isis. And all of these feminine figures, they got shunned from Sachet, from Oya, from Mayette, from Bastet. Any of these figures who stood for any voice of freedom of all mankind, male and female, if you have a freedom to speak and freedom to stand in your own light and your own spirituality, they stand with you. They will protect you. You are their equal. You are not their peasants. So don't pray to them. You ask for their guidance, ask for their help, but you don't bow down to them. Please don't take that, okay? So make sure you differentiate where your stance is. Don't bow down to them. You ask for their guidance. Ask for their help, okay? Don't bow down to them. Just want to make sure you understand that. And that's all. Thanks for staying throughout the duration of this video. Thank you, Blue Lotus, for telling me I was not talking. Most people don't say shit. So thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful day. I'm hungry. I'm out.
We see you. We see you. We remember. We remember. I am the storm. I am the storm. I am the silence. I am the silence. I am the truth unveiled. I am the truth unveiled.
Your season